Your friendly neighborhood YouTuber is rated PG-13. Parental advisory, explicit content, viewer discretion is advised.
Prepare yourself for an awesome toy review. Stay tuned.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, guys. Alright, so here we are. We're back. We're going to do kind of a re-review of this Adventures of Spawn lineup, as you guys can see right here in front of you, being that Spawn is making a comeback this year. I figure, hey, let's do a look back at one of my favorite lines from Spawn. I don't know if Mcfarlane's ever going to do a redo of this line because they all look amazing. All these figures are pretty much statues. If you guys are wondering what this is based on, there was a comic book. I think there still might be a comic book of the Adventures of Spawn. So it's kind of the animated version of Spawn. So here are all the figures from this lineup right here. We'll go through them individually. Of course, we'll save Spawn till last. So the first figure that we'll take a look at, guys, is of course this Raven Spawn. Just a great looking piece, man. One of my favorites. This lineup is probably one of my favorite lineups in the entire Mcfarlane series, man. That includes every Mcfarlane lineup there is. Next to Mortal Kombat, I do like the Mortal Kombat figs, Mcfarlane Mortal Kombat figs, but each Adventures of Spawn figure, they come with a base right here, as you guys can see, a Spawn base right here. I only have a few figures that are on a base simply because they need the base to stand up. Most of these figures, they don't need a base to stand up on. There is very little articulation to these guys. For Raven Spawn, his arms just pretty much move up and down. There's really no leg movement, no knee bend, some swivels here and there in the boot cut, nothing at the face, but just an overall, just great looking piece. And it's got hair on this guy. Where? Why? But just an overall great piece. And if you guys want to see a more in-depth review of these figures, they are in my Mcfarlane playlist on my channel. So if you guys want to take a look at individual reviews of these figures, like I said, you can check them out on my playlist. But yeah, I pretty much have the entire Adventures of Spawn lineup. That's what happens when you mix Spawn and lineup. You get lawn. Spawn lineup, with the exception of a few figures missing here and there, but I think I pretty much got all the figures that I wanted to get from this wave, with the exception of maybe one. But yeah, I love these figures. The detail is just absolutely amazing, dude. The weapons are great. Just an overall great lineup. So there is Raven Spawn. We'll put him off to the side real quick. Here is Omega Spawn. Actually, I just recently did a review of this guy, I think, what, late last year or something like that. Some of these figs, they do come with interchangeable hands as well. This guy right here, he did come with two of these weapons right here. I just put one weapon on him. One weapon for his arm right there. Just great looking figure. This guy is a little bit more articulated than some of the other Spawn figures because he actually does have some bends and breaks here and there. Swivel right there. Boot swivel, I guess if that's what you want to call it. Just a great overall looking figure. There is a variant of this guy, of course. It is Mcfarlane, so there is a silver version of this one. I believe it's the Omega Squadron one, but I do like the white version. You guys know me. If I ever come across the variant of this guy for a cheap price, you know I definitely will pick him up. But like I said, if you guys want to see a more in-depth review of this guy, oh yeah, he does have a waist swivel. You can check him out on my Mcfarlane playlist. I love the rocket pack on his back. Spikes are done very nicely. Really love that figure. Let's take a look at Tremor. Tremor is probably one of my favorite characters in the Spawn storyline. But this guy right here is very disappointing. He's one of my least favorite, even though he is really, really awesome. They made him a little bit too small. This is, of course, Creech. Creech is supposed to be a big guy. He is very nicely done, don't get me wrong. His tentacles, or hair, whatever you want to call it, they are articulated. There's no head movement, obviously, because his head is inside of his body. Swivel right there at his gauntlets. Swivel right there at the leg. But yeah, my only gripe with this figure, he's nicely done. I just wish they would have made this guy more bigger because Creech is a big guy. He does have a waist swivel as well. But yeah, there's the back of Creech right there. Great, great figure. One of my other favorite figs in this lineup is Overkill. This guy is done very, very nicely. He does come with some interchangeable hands as well. His arms, they do move, but it's kind of hindered by this design right here. This chainsaw is freaking awesome, bro. It is actually interchangeable. You can actually change it out, just have a regular fist on there. And he also did come with another weapon, too. I can't remember what else he came with. He does have brakes right here at the thighs. No boot swivel. Real chains. Remember back in the day when Mcfarlane used to put real chains on his figures, man? Great, great looking figure. One of my favorite Overkill figures, I think, ever produced. He just did an amazing job with this lineup, man. Great, great, great figure. Nothing really going on the back. Everything is on the fronts right there. Just a great overall Overkill, and he's a big guy too. One of my favorites, bro. We'll take a look at, I think, Agent Zero from what I can remember. I think that was her name. Great piece. If you guys love, like, I think if you like anime stuff, I think you guys will appreciate this lineup because it's very anime-like, you know what I mean? The gun does pop out right here. You can remove this gun right there, but there's no point because she can't really hold it. Probably in this weapon, in this hand right here, but she only has one holding hand. And of course, I'm not going to get rid of this gigantic, beautiful gun right here. This is a very light figure. It's a very light, hollow piece of plastic for the gun. The face is just done nicely, man. The whole wardrobe, the way she looks, black and purple. She was rocking this before Black Widow. Just an overall great, great looking figure, man. Like I said, if you love anime figs, then you probably will like her a lot. Speaking of, here is Tiffany right here. Awesome, awesome, awesome piece, man. One of my favorites, dude. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of anime. I don't hate it. I've watched anime before. I'm just not a big fan, but they did an amazing job with this figure, man. Just an overall great, great looking piece. And like I said, if you guys want to see a more in-depth review of her, she is on my Mcfarlane playlist. But just great, great figure, man. It is a statue that's pretty much, there's really very little articulation to her. I think maybe head movements, but it's kind of like hindered by this right here because you can't really get her head to move that much. The arm does go up and down, so you can get her arm to move. The sword is done nicely, man. Just an overall great sculpt, man. Great body, great armor. Everything about her is just done nicely. One of my favorite statues, figures, pieces, whatever you want to call it in my collection. I love the Spawn earrings right there. The makeup is done nicely, man. Just an overall great looking figure. One of my favorites, Commando Spawn. Commando Spawn, I got this guy loose, so I do believe he is missing a few accessories. Some pieces broke off, so I had to kind of rig it a little bit. But he does have this gun right here, which you lift up his arm, and boom, he's got this gun right here. He doesn't really hold this. I feel like he's missing a piece right here, but I made it to where he's actually holding the gun. The grenades are done nicely. The belts. The figure is just done nicely, man. Great, great figure. He's got some big-ass feet, too, bro. I don't know what's up with the feet. He does have swivel right here as well. Arm movement, head movement. Not too bad articulated-wise. He is still a statue, an articulated statue. The backpack is done very, very nicely, man. Great, great detail to this figure, man. Just one of my favorites, bro. One of my favorites. The head sculpt is done nicely. The paint apps are nice are done nicely, very, very clean. The plastic they kind of use is kind of weird because it scratches very easily. And as you guys can see, the hair attaches to it very easily. So you can get a lot of scrape marks on it too if you guys don't take care of these figures. I do believe he is missing a knife. But nonetheless, I got him loose for cheap. And yeah, this guy right here is still in package. He's going for like around $60 to $80. I've seen him for more. So yeah, a lot of these Spawn figures are going up in price as we speak, simply because they are McFarlane. We'll take a look at Redeemer. Why not? Let's take a look at Redeemer. Great, great figure, man. What more can I say? I mean, just look at this guy. Look at the weapon. Look at the sword, the body, the sculpt, the freaking wings. Just an overall great looking figure. And listen, guys, if you are Spawn fans, this is a lineup that you have to pick up because McFarlane did an amazing job with this lineup, man. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing a re-review of these figures, is because so many people have overlooked this line. I say pick it up, man, if you are Spawn fans. Just a great, great lineup. Great paint apps, the blue and the gold and the green. Just overall great looking figure. The gold really, really pops. This is when they actually use the color gold that actually looked like gold. Nowadays, they don't know what the hell gold is. Same thing that can be said with this Tiffany. You look at the gold and it looks like real freaking gold. It's gold flaked. You know, now they just put on a color that looks like gold and it's just kind of a dull gold. You know, back in the day, they actually put detail onto their figures. Well, McFarlane did anyway, so great, great lineup. Sword is great. Everything about this figure is just great. Great looking figure. Scigor, one of my favorite characters, bro. A great looking Scigor figure. I mean, there's really nothing much to this guy. Just great detail. Real chain that they use. One thing that sucks about this real chain, it goes against his chest and it scratches up his chest because, like I said, the plastic that they use is just a weird, like, polo plastic. It just doesn't make any sense. Fist right there, swivel. His arms can go upwards pretty high to where he's smashing like that, ready to smash something. His head is articulated. Legs right here is articulated. Just an overall great looking figure. It is Scigor 3. This is the third piece that McFarlane did in the lineup. It is Scigor 3 right there. Actually, you know, come to think about it, I don't think McFarlane can actually remake these figures any better than they are right now, because these figures are not really that old. I think they are from like 2000s. 2001, 2010, 5, 6, I can't remember. Somewhere in that error. But yeah, it's just, I don't think he can do a better job than he did with these figures, other than probably give him articulation. A better articulation, less statues, and better articulation. So yeah, that's the best thing I can see as far as improvement-wise, you know, that he can do with these figures. But they're just great, great looking figures, man. So there is Scigor. Let me break out Tremor, one of my other favorite figs. But this one, I don't really care too much for this guy. He is nice. I don't know if there's a green version of this guy. He is a hollow. He's not hollow. He's a heavy guy. All the weight is right here. He's not hollow like Scigor. This guy right here is actually heavier than Scigor. So because they use a different kind of plastic, man. This is not the hollow part. For some reason, this is the heavy part. Never understood that with toy companies, especially back in the day. Some figures would be like really, really light. Other figures would be heavy as hell. Never understood the whole idea of that. But overall, Tremor is a great looking figure, man. These freaking claws are sharp as hell. They are hard, hard plastic, man. Hard freaking plastic, bro. These are really, really sharp. Same thing with his toes as well. Great, great piece. Not one of my favorites, but he's a good piece right there. I do have fondness for other Tremor figures, so he's not one of my favorite Tremor figures that McFarlane has produced. But it's just an overall great looking Tremor, man. Face is done nicely. I probably would prefer a green version if there is one out there. If not, I have no idea. If they did one or not, maybe you guys can tell me. But just a great looking figure. Probably one of my favorites, and a figure that has gone up in price simply because Spawn has gone up in price. It is the originator. I made a video about this guy not too long ago, and also another video not too long ago about figures, Mcfarlane figures going up in price. This guy, I think I paid 20 bucks for him at a comic book store. Now on the aftermarket, he's going for around 100. So, yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. I remember the Spawn lineup when Mcfarlane, nobody was talking about Mcfarlane. Like, these figures, nobody gave a shit about Spawn, nobody gave a shit about Mcfarlane, and then all of a sudden he came back with the DC stuff, and then the rebirth of Spawn, and then all of a sudden these Spawn figures just went up, bro. So it's just amazing, man. Amazing, amazing. You know, when you think Mcfarlane is dead in the water, and then he comes out and he releases some pretty cool figures, then all of a sudden people's attitudes change when it comes to previous figures that he's released. But this guy, he does come with an interchangeable head, an L. Simmons head, and also he does come with, I do believe, some interchangeable hands, fisted hands, and he does come with another weapon, which I have no idea what I did with at the moment. But just a great Spawn, man. This is Spawn right here, bro. There's the cape right there. And this is what you got. There's no modifications that you need to make. There's no customizations that you need to make with these figures. They are what they are. You know what I mean? They're not trying to be a realistic portrayal of a character. They're just kind of based on the animated, figures, animated characters from the comic book. So they are what they are, man. So I'm really happy to have this Spawn in my collection. He's one of my favorite Spawn figures in my entire collection, bro. This is it. This is what you get right here. Love that Spawn, guys. All right, so there was my little re-review of all these Spawn figures from the Adventures of Spawn lineup. I figure, hey, let's do a re-review of these figures, man, because it's just one of my favorite lineups. Tell me, guys, do you have any of these figures? Have you collected any of these Spawn figures, the Adventures of Spawn figures? If not, I recommend it. From one Spawn fan to another, guys. I definitely do think you should pick up this lineup. Just great pieces, man. And like I said, if you're a Spawn fan, I definitely recommend this lineup. Alright, guys. Thank you for giving me about 20 minutes of your time. 17, 18 minutes of your time. Just want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, comment, subscribe, you know, all that great stuff. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Just want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next review. Peace out. Subscriber alert! Subscriber alert! Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you don't want the world to come to an end, you better do so right now. Thank you, and you're welcome. Your friendly neighborhood YouTuber is brought to you by OnlyPans on YouTube. Check it out.